Hey, welcome back. Happy Monday. Mr. Will here, video lesson for May 18th, 2020 for the group. Every day I'm calculating. I hope you had a nice weekend. Couple of announcements before we get into today's lesson. Number one, there will not be a video lesson or daily assignment this Friday or next Monday. We are observing Memorial Day and you get a 4-day weekend. I know. Try to fight back the tears. But you do still have IXL lessons that are going to be due Friday, even though there's not a video lesson or daily assignment. And there is a problem of the week. Both can be found on the class section of on Facts. So please make sure that you're working on them. You can work on them throughout the week so that you have Friday off completely. Or you can work a little, or you can save it and work on your daily assignments and do that on Friday. Completely up to you. So no video lessons Friday or Monday, a week from today, but you do have daily lessons on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday of this week. So please make sure we're working hard. I know we only have a couple more weeks left to go, but let's dig down deep and finish strong. So today in math, we are making the transition from what we were talking about with system of equations to geometry. And something that I'm hopeful that you have talked about before, but we are going to make sure that we understand the properties of transformations. Now, transformations are just movements of a figure from one place to another. And there's different ways that we can do different movements of a figure. The first one's called a translation. The second one is called a reflection. And the third is called a rotation. So again, translation, reflection, and rotation. So the takeaway, objective of today's lesson is for you to be familiar with what those three terms mean and be able to identify them, different ways to move shapes from one place to another, figures. So today for the assigned work pages, there are primarily reading for you to do. I believe you have one question to answer. But I want you to take your time and really read and make sure you understand the different properties so that you can use them. You also have an IXL. The first IXL that's due this week will also have you applying these skills. Okay. So the first one is called a translation. A translation is a slide that moves a figure the same distance in a direction. So ready? It's going to be this arrow, okay? Could be a translation. So it's going to go here to the right. Boom. That's it. You move from here to here. You can move from the right. You can move down. You can move up, okay? That didn't go up. Up, okay? That is called a translation. When you slide it from one, the figure stays in the same shape. The figure stays in the same orientation, and you're just sliding it from one point to another. You can slide it up, you can slide it to the left, you can slide it to the right, you can slide it down. Okay, that is called a translation. Now, this one's going to be a little bit harder to show. The next one is called a reflection. Another way that you can move a figure is called a reflection. A reflection or a flip flips a figure over an imaginary line. So I have that arrow. You can't really see it, but I'm flipping it over an imaginary line. So imagine going kind of right down here. Okay, here's my imaginary line that's not so imaginary. Okay, so if I take this shape and I flip it over, okay, boom, that would be called a reflection. And you can kind of see why this would get its name, right? Because it is a reflection of this shape. Okay. Now, for this one, it's not as easy to see, but if I were to have maybe a triangle, might be a better example, like a right triangle, to see that reflection. So that would be an example of a reflection. Okay. The third is a rotation. Okay. So if I move my shape over here, a rotation would be when you spin or rotate the shape on its axis. And you can turn clockwise, you can turn counterclockwise like this, or clockwise, And these are different ways that you can turn. When a figure moves around a fixed point or kind of like a pivot point, it's called a center of rotation. So the point that it's moving around is called the center of rotation. A figure turns either clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay. So the three different movements of shapes that I would like to introduce you to today are translation, reflection, and rotation. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to read more about these three different properties of transformations, different ways that you can move figures, and I would like you to answer just one question today. But today might be a good day that you take care of your IXL lesson that also applies these skills. Remember, I'm here to answer any questions that you may have during office hours, 9 to 10 every day, or feel free to email me throughout the day, and you can expect a prompt reply. Work hard, ask questions. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks.